Welcome back. As promised, we got a lot of Squarebody stuff to show you guys. I have somehow lost my very last pair of sunglasses in this transition around here today. So when we walk in and out of here, if I happen to close my eyes or look like I'm squinting or look like I've been on a binger for 3 days or whatever it is, don't get LASIK. But anyway, Memorial Day's this weekend, so if we don't get any more videos, tomorrow could be a very busy day for us. So I don't know how much we'll get filmed, how much we'll get edited, how much we'll get posted. But I want to wish everybody a very happy Memorial Day and a very safe Memorial Day from all of us here at all the Davis businesses and companies. Also, Memorial Day was kind of a fun time. All my crew now wasn't really around to witness the craziness around Memorial Day, but OBX, for you guys that are close by, and for you guys that are friends of mine, family of mine, or anybody that follows, you will know piece by piece how this went. But I've been going to the OBX for 30 years. Pretty much ever since I could drive, me and one of my very good friends would go for Memorial Day. It started off, he said, hey, a bunch of dudes with trucks are going down for Memorial Day. And I'm like, no, we usually go dove hunting on Memorial Day. I think that's exactly when it came in back in the day. And we did something, might not have been dove hunting. Something we did as a family. Maybe it was our farm weekend, I don't know. But I said, well, I mean, I guess we can go. So we went one time and that's all it took. Like it was, you drove on the beach. For you guys that are not local, you got to drive on the beach, you hung out, played horseshoes. It was a heck of a good time. So for me at 16, 17 years old, 18 years old, whatever it was the first time I went, it was pretty amazing. So I real quickly realized that my truck was not as big as it was, and it was a 74 Squarebody. The first time we took it down there, we took it on a hay wagon. We had to take the wheels and tires off of it, and even then it was sketchy, super sketchy. But my buddy had a truck, and my truck wasn't dependable enough to drive. So between the two of us, we made it down there. And it was a good time. We unloaded it, put tires and wheels on it, cruised out there. Wasn't the biggest truck on the beach by far. Met a lot of good people, hung out. So ever since then, every year I took that same truck. Sometimes I took a couple trucks, but I always took that 74, which I still have. And you guys that are faithful followers have seen it. It's the big red and white one. And my Mickey Thompson guy is what really set me off for this video. We're gonna get to these Squarebodies, I promise. You gotta listen through this for just a second. He said, man, you have got to be the best at like literally dialing people in on the edge of their seat for the next thing. And unfortunately, I do have some news, because in doing that, that means I was on the phone with Mickey Thompson today. And now contractually, I'm not allowed at this time. So little pieces that tell me I can let out, I will let out, but today's not the day. I will tell you there's some things happening. That's why we had a phone call. But that led me to, after that, on Thursday, about right now, I'd literally be waiting in the office with pins and needles for parts to arrive so that I could go home, bolt them on my truck, and leave for the beach. And I usually made my way down to the beach literally in the middle of the night so nobody could see what I did to the truck. And that next morning, I'd debut the truck out on the beach. Midday, after everybody was out there, we'd cruise out on the beach. And I would come up with some pretty crazy stuff to do. And it was some things that hadn't been done back then. That truck ended up on almost 30 inches of lift, 54-inch tires. It was still a street truck. It's a little bit lower today, still on 49s, but I'm trying to debate climbing in and out of it's not so easy. And I don't even have a set of our own power steps on that truck. So got to get on Daniel and Brian about that. But it was pretty cool. So every year people were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'd have my truck in the garage. Couple buddies over only. There was no Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Nobody knew what to expect. And every year the truck got bigger, crazier, better. To look back now, if we had the things that we could do in the shop and I had these facilities to work in, she would have been pretty amazing. But unfortunately, times change, kids come along, and the beach rules change, so we stopped going. But man, I met a lot of good people out there, and if you guys are from the area, please comment on this video, because you definitely saw old Big Red riding around, had a little graphic on the side. We had a huge crew. We had a great crew. We were, the police would come around, check on things. We were always, you had buddies that were drinking and doing stuff, but it was okay back then. We had a great time. So just reminiscing on that, and thankful I'm not waiting for UPS or FedEx to show up. I literally would chase them down sometimes if I saw them down the street to see if they had a package for me on the delivery truck, because I was waiting on something that I couldn't make or do at the time to put my truck together and literally load it on a trailer. Eventually I got a better trailer. We didn't have to sketch out trailing it down there on an old raggedy hay trailer that had been on the farm with a farm use tag for all that time. But it was nevertheless some of the best times in life. So I hope you guys are doing something fun for Memorial Day. That was a great memory for me, along with several others, but Memorial Day is where a whole lot of this business evolved. People seeing that truck over the years, then coming in and becoming customers. And, you know, it always had a front drive shaft. It was never a Bluetooth, and it was a big boy. So on to some Squarebodies. We brought you guys a little bit on this one, but I don't think everybody has seen it. This is the truck we built to debut at the Outer Banks Car Show. This truck was a bone stock, full bolt nut restoration. By far one of the cleanest bolt nut restoration trucks, bar none. Everybody that's looked at it, from experts to novice to just people stopping by to kids, everybody compliments how clean this truck is inside and out. Now, I chose this one along with Daniel and Brian's idea that this was going to be a good one to do. And while we're at it, you guys might make fun of me about a LED light, but that is what happens when you don't have an LED light. If the camera, I think it's going to show up, Christian. I think it's going to be all right. That's what happens if you don't have an LED light. We do have a bulb for it and a lens. My uncle got ordered. We got to put that in. But this truck got the power steps, which are LED backlit. It got a full 12-inch suspension lift. It got the crossover steering. It got the track bar system. This truck still has the inner fender linings. It got the zinc finished hardware everywhere, greasable bushings, Fox shocks, Fox dual steering stabilizers. All the women also drove this truck while we were down there. It's a Sniper fuel injected truck with a mild 350. Might be a 355. We don't have paperwork, so I don't want to say wrong on that. But runs, drives, idles, air condition works, does a great job. Our buddy drove it hadn't drove an old school truck this big in a long time, though he has some big trucks, and took his daughter for a ride. Everybody was blown away with how the truck rode and drove. Unfortunately, I cannot sell it with those tires and wheels. As I've said before, those go on another one of my show trucks that we need to get out and send to some events. So I cannot part with it currently with those tires and wheels because I don't have anything to replace them with. If somebody has their own tires and wheels, if somebody wants it stock, if somebody wants it bigger, doesn't matter. It's just kind of a specimen right now. So that's one of the reasons it's not priced online. We do need to make those changes. But a cool truck. Under the hood is finished just as good as the inside, just as good as inside the bed. The truck is incredibly clean. Everything that's been done. This has got to be one of the nicest trucks possible. And it's not a six-figure truck. It is shy of six figures, not by a lot. But it will depend on what somebody wants. The other thing, don't forget, there's no period. I don't care what you want done. We can do it. If somebody wants 1 tons, this is a 6-lug truck. You want to make it a K30 as far as axles and stuff go? Not a problem. It can be this same truck with an axle change. Now this is a K10 started life, now K30, 1-ton axle, very, very thorough build, not a nut and bolt restoration, other than, yes, the interior was a nut and bolt restoration. And we do have some trim issues that we're working on currently, but you can see the truck was two-toned properly. This truck was done by Kenny on the inside, a nut and bolt restoration on the interior. Dome lights work, everything works great. Has the power steps, which a lot of people wonder how they're actuated. They're actually actuated off the dome light switch right here. Power windows, power locks, everything works. Everything's been disassembled. Everything's been greased, adjusted, and lubed. Beautiful truck. This one, currently finishing up a deal and finishing up this was a trade-in from one of our good customers. We've had multiple trucks from him in the past that you guys have seen and some actually own. You'll recognize the theme of the truck. It's on 16 wides, 40-inch boggers, 12-inch lift. So you guys that are looking, half-ton and 1-ton comparison, same lift, same height, same size tire and wheel. Also on Fox shocks. Went a little more thorough with this one when Daniel had it at the shop doing the build, which was only done last month. But when I tell you guys what he ended up buying from me, you'll understand why he parted with it. He had the steering bar, and drive shafts all color matched just to give it a little accent underneath. They're kind of what I call like a dull chrome color. 1410 U-joints, rear disc brake conversion with zinc brackets, custom dual exhaust, and this truck has a 434 under the hood. I was told the 434 only has a few hundred miles on it. And again, a lot of you may recognize this truck. He actually drove it to the local mud bog when we raced 2 or 3 weeks ago. Cow hood, basically all the goodies that you can get. The GM factory floor mats, everything you'd expect of a Kenny job. And for you that don't follow, you can scroll back and see plenty of Kenny work. Kenny does not let a truck leave until it's done, and this guy attests just like us. Kenny will ask very few questions. Kenny does it the way he wants to do it. Kenny does it no holds bar, and he doesn't matter who's paying for it. It just needs to be right. So he has had his touches on this truck just like the last few built by this customer. Color scheme's a little different. Normally they're solid red. This one's red and white with the white on the top. Christian learned about that color scheme in one of the last videos. So a pretty cool setup. Sounds good. We'll do a running video when we do the specific video on this truck only. But we do need to clean a couple things up. It's got a Flaming River style steering bar. I want to paint that. You know, it's a little ugly right here just because it was raw and never got painted. I want to clean that up. Just touch up the U-bolts and the nuts. Anything that was put on it raw does just have a little bit of, from cleaning it, a little bit of surface rust. Brought you guys a little bit on this one yesterday, 80. But this side of the truck, you can see the stereo a little better. We actually had a few people comment about the stereo and all. If you're from this era, this stuff will blow your mind, and it's hardly available. It's not easy to find. This truck was a frame-off restoration. You can look in the door here where they cleaned up everything when they painted it. We got a couple little things to do, like hardware here, vent hoses off the front, some sway bar bushings. I've already gone around this truck, made a little punch list, but when you take apart 1,000 things, nothing's ever going to be perfect usually, unless you're Kenny. So there's going to be some things you got to go back or somebody's got to finish. So not picking on the truck, not picking on the restoration company, there's just things that need to be done. Clean under the hood, a very, very, very thorough restoration was done. We put a new battery in it. I just tweaked the carburetor just ever so slightly a few minutes ago. We need to get a belt on the AC. I believe the AC is going to be fine. The compressor's not locked up. Felt under the hood. Undercarriage is ridiculously clean. One of the cleaner frames. One thing about doing a frame off in a frame these days, it's almost impossible to find a clean frame. Like if you look at that truck there, again, one of the most highly regarded restorations we have found, you'll see some little pitting where they sandblasted the frame, but it's still got some spots. Now you could have smeared some Bondo on that, but over time that Bondo's gonna come out. So then you got something that looks ugly as hell. So you can find a couple little dimples in that one. This frame is actually a little bit cleaner. I like the way they did the steering box. They clear coated the raw finish of it. It's even got the little dots on it like it's supposed to. The interior is bucket seats with a console. It is a tilt, cruise, power window, power lock, air conditioned cab, 1980 square headlight truck. In root beer brown, cream, Cordova brown is the proper color per the code. Very nice spray and liner, a CR Lawrence proper replacement rear glass window. Super duper cool truck. This one here, I don't know if we're gonna make some changes. I'm gonna just run around it real quick. Some guys have stopped in and looked at it. Some people have called on it from the videos. This is a truck that we did sell to a customer. Then he traded it back for a red truck, which is what he loves. It's got the steering, it's got the track bar, it's got headers, it's got a small block, it's got the steps, it's got a bed cover, it's got the proper bumper, it's got new exhaust. It's got a very nice diamond stitched interior, digital gauges, aftermarket retro radio, couple speakers in the kick panel, nice door panels, a burnt orange with cream. Freaking nice, nice, nice truck. It can be sold the way it is. It has not gone online yet, even though I think Christian has taken photos. But we've got so many with boggers. I do believe we need to tame one of them down and maybe put this one on some BFGs and some 10-inch wide wheels just to change the look a little bit. But those are 35s, 14 wide, Eaton, Bart, old school wheels, and American Racing. Everybody made a wheel like that, but that's a 1514. They were brand new out of the box when we put them on here. Brand new 35 boggers. The truck has 1,000 and some odd miles since restoration. They did the instrument cluster when they did it. We just kind of verified things today. 1,000 and so miles since restoration. Cow hood, everything's painted clean. Under the hood, even the block is color matched. There's several videos on this truck if you scroll back, but we'll do some more. I think we're gonna change it up just a little bit though. But again, it could be stock, it could be big, it could be the size of these trucks if you wanted it to be. I just think we got a lot with boggers right now. And those boggers and all would look really good on this truck. So that's kind of a thought currently. Now we're going across. You can pause it so this thing doesn't get too long. So we had to pause the video because Christian was about to pee his pants. He was over here crossing his legs and doing the little pee-pee dance. So we had to give him a little break. That's why we rushed through that last Squarebody. But you guys will see plenty about that. And you all know, all you have to do is reach out. Just because they don't make their way to the web, a ton of them do not. Got the very low mileage Squarebody that we called Grandpa Truck over in this building because I had all of the low mileage ones in here that have now since dissipated. I'm gonna give my man a shout out. One of my really faithful followers and also customers now actually knew we were coming back from the beach and said, hey, I got an ATV and I'm right on the way. Would you guys like it to put in your collection? And it's a little off what we've been messing with, but we are gonna clean it up. We're gonna go through it just because of the fact I appreciate him doing it for me. And he basically gave it to me for nothing, just to pick it up and be part of the coolness of these Squarebodies and trucks and ATVs and three-wheelers. So thanks, my man. He actually came up here and bought a truck for his wife, a very nice Tahoe, and we had a great conversation about Squarebody. Actually, got a few Squarebody things while he was here. We really appreciate all you guys, for sure. And it's amazing how many people pay attention, watch, and become friends and customers through this channel. But Grimace is chilling over here too. Unfortunately, I don't know, well, I do know. Blakely wanted to drive this to work, so Dad said, okay, so we drove that to work, and now it's stuck here because I don't want to drive it in the rain, but probably get it out so we'll have it for Memorial Day because we got some stuff we want to go do. Also over in here, already getting a lot of attention, so I'll go ahead and kind of go over this truck a little bit more. Well, we found the truck we were looking for, Christian. Yep. Why is the least expensive Squarebody we have in the building? It makes no sense, but this truck sold after we fully rebuilt the front end with control arms and ball joints, and we also rebuilt the rear differential because it had some bad bearings and some goop in the rear, and now the guy's just going to use the body for a donor. So we did all that work, and he's just going to take the body off of it. But either way, it's going to a good home. It's a pretty solid specimen. I do have no idea why AJ has gotten it over here in this building, but and the crew cab, 1-ton Squarebody Duramax conversion truck. As you guys also see behind it, we have no shortage of Squarebodies. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of them, some that you have not seen. I've showed you guys this one before. Some of these trucks are incredible, and we just don't have time. Well, now I know why it's in the building. Now I also know we have to get this unloaded before he shows up tomorrow. Oh my gosh. This truck's crew cab long bed, 1-ton, single rear wheel, extremely clean frame, extremely clean undercarriage. It's been fully taken apart. It's been painted. It's got a super nice interior, and it was doned or scheduled to be a Duramax swap. I don't know that we won't finish it that way. We have an LBZ with an Allison with the proper transfer case and all the components. Yeah, a whole bed. Yeah. Or if Jegs comes through, we very well may do a 632 or a 572 with a 400 or a 4L80, and we'll figure that out. But I've got the tanks are out, the frame is clean. Show underneath there, Christian. This truck is on an 8-inch kit with a extremely heavy-duty, cool steering bar, high steer, crossover system. Not one of ours, but a cool one nevertheless. With king shocks. Tires and wheels are 16 wides for 38s, just so you guys have a comparison of what this size looks like. It would rub at full turn, so that's why we always do the 35s. Differential covers front and back, Dana 60, 14 bolt, the proper transfer case to keep the Chevy axle, because you do typically with the Duramax conversion have to go to a Ford axle. I don't know that you can squeeze around there.
Why is that backwards?
Why is what backwards?
Oh,
it's a rear mount. Just keeps it out of the way because it was in the front. This would hit that. So the steering's not down low, it's up high. So it's a high clearance steering system. Very unusual, you don't see it very often. Daniel has that on his OBS, which is a twin to this truck, like a absolute twin to this truck. And Daniel has another twin to this truck with a Duramax in it that a lot of people confused the two trucks. And I might be wrong because I haven't seen it in many years. I think his is a short bed crew cab, but it's a bright red and it's going to be perfect just like his OBS because of the body man doing it is our head honcho that does nothing short of perfection. But this is an 89 to 91 front end. I need to check the title to see, and I'll check that. Come around the other side, Christian. I need to see, I think it's an 89 truck, but I can tell you from the title. It is an 89 truck, so that truck would have had this front end from the factory. There's a bunch of pictures of our 88 that we sold to our customers up in Maryland. That's an 88 with the old front end, the over the headlight setup. And so many people arguing, it's not an 88, it's not an 88. Guys get super confused on these trucks because 88 half ton was a new body style. It was an OBS. 88 in this truck and Blazer was still the same front end. And then 89 went to this. Still a square body, just with different headlights. This truck is straight as an arrow. There is no rust. There was no rust. You can see the undercarriage. Christian showed you there, but he'll show you again. Everything has been coated. I don't know if there's enough light in here to really see it. Cow hood. And she's empty under here.
Oh, God. Look at that.
Yeah, she's empty.
You got
A little tight.
bungee under there.
Oh, that's holding the hood down. Okay. Yep. So this truck was set up for vintage air. That's why the heater box is out. It was also set up for aftermarket gauges. We have the gauges, we have the dash bezel, we have the glove box, we have all the heater box stuff, we have all the vintage air conditioned stuff to put her back together. Steering column, the whole 9 yards. If somebody's realistic and realizes this is not a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 truck, even as a roller, it's not in that price range, please reach out. I will be happy to sell it as a roller. I'll take the tires and wheels off, take the lift kit off. I'll sell you whatever parts you want or however you want it, or I'll load the Duramax with the rest and you can take it all. It doesn't really matter. Bless you. Good job on that. You didn't even falter much. But that's a really cool truck. That is an extremely cool truck, and if you've ever seen a completed square body Duramax swap with the proper Duramax and the proper configuration, those trucks have brought anywhere from, I don't think I've seen one hardly in this condition under 100, and most of them, I mean, there's been some that have hit close to 200. So we can finish it, we will finish it, but not to be stingy. If somebody wants to step up and get a nice truck that's already on its way, but the way we left it yesterday, and me and Daniel catching up on some of our projects, I think we're probably going to do big block swap back into that truck. It should have been a big block truck from the factory. Go back with the vintage air, take care of everything, and get it knocked out. So thanks, guys, for following along on the Square Body tour today. Well, we got one more. We got one more. Might as well catch it while we're out here. And we're wrapping up the Blazer there. The Blazer is one we sold, and we did end up having a little issue arise, and customer's been very patient. Lo and behold, it had a transmission issue, so we had to get it taken care of. He's up in the mountains, and it overheated and had a transmission issue, so we got it taken care of, and he's going to be very happy and surprised when he comes to pick it up, or we're actually going to deliver it to him for his inconvenience. But hey, in business, things do go wrong sometimes. Just got to make them right. And if you want a cheaper truck, you saw the experiment truck that left here. This one is not as nice. It is rusty in its areas, but that's a good driving truck. Actually, I ran some errands with it the other day. and I think I got some 3-wheeler parts in the back of it. So they're not all expensive. This one is definitely affordable. It's a cool truck. I left it kind of patina. But I had told Daniel, if any spare time arises, just on a fun day, we will go ahead and throw probably an 8-inch kit and some boggers on it, just like I did Rusty the Blazer.
Yeah.
Rusty the Blazer was one of my favorite trucks, and I hope the man's still enjoying it. I think he also follows the channel. We ended up putting it on some little bitty tires and wheels. It looked funny when it left, but when that truck was on its 35, 16 wide boggers and 8-inch kit, you didn't see rust. Like, you had blinders on. It just looked like the most amazing truck there was, because tires and wheels make a truck. I even left the old running boards, and that's what we were going to do on this one, is leave the old running boards. So that was a cool build. It's amazing how a little time and attention goes a long ways. But thanks, guys. We got the Hummers over here. Oh, AJ is back from getting some finishing touches on that one. That truck is sold and headed out. We're doing exhaust, power steps, a second tire and wheel combination. So he has a show set and a driving set. And we got the AC up and going. We did a couple other things for him. What else was on that one, Christian? You can't keep track, can you? Anyway, oh, retro stereo, and unfortunately the dash had been cut, so we do have to do a double knob plate to put the double knob radio back in it, because he's getting the retro conversion Bluetooth, but looks old radio in that truck. And that one's pretty cool, because that guy's father had that exact truck. He actually sent me some pictures, and that truck's a spitting image of it, and that's a super low mileage, really clean square body that is almost done and almost ready to ship. His wheels came in, his tires are here, and once we finish up the radio, that truck can go out. So thanks, guys. Oh, 2 Hummers, just so you can see them beside each other. That's kind of cool. I meant to take a picture for TikTok earlier. A 1 and a 2 beside each other. I had a couple 1s and a couple 2s and a couple 3s a few years ago, and I never took a video or picture of them, not even one. But that's pretty cool to have those sitting beside each other to see. They are kind of similar, but they are 1,000,000% different at the same time. So H1, H2. Thanks, guys. Thanks for following along. If we don't get any more videos, have a safe and happy Memorial Day, not New Year's yet. And we'll be back at you hopefully tomorrow. Thank you.